Morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, everyone. So anyways, we are studying a series of sessions where we are learning what are the basic terms we must be looking for in chemistry when it comes to JEE or NEET. And earlier in the first two sessions, I gave you a briefing of what is an atom, how do we have different molecules, and how these molecules can be categorized into three types of compounds: acids, bases, and salts. And finally, how to name them, the nomenclature of acids, bases, and salts. What is the name for all of these compounds? After that, we learned about how do we usually use the numbers to make additions or subtractions. And it is not simple numbers. Here there will be notations, scientific notations, where you have power being mentioned. In that cases, how do we need to solve it? This is what I have taught you the other day. And I gave an assignment also on regarding the same. So those who haven't solved, I request all of you to make sure that you do solve that assignment, which is with respect to whatever we have learned in this number theory. Okay. Today, we will introduce ourselves to reactions. When you have chemical reactions, then what are the types and how do we balance the chemical reactions? And how do we read the chemical reactions? This is the main part which we will focus on. Okay, once again. Right. So everybody give the heading as chemical reactions. Chemical reactions. And balancing them. So let us see what are the types of reactions we have and how do we balance them. The first of the type of reactions which you will see is an acid-base reaction. Acid-base reaction, also known as neutralization reaction. And for instance, if you take HCl in aqueous form and NaOH in aqueous form, if you treat both of them, it will form NaCl aqueous plus H2O liquid. It meant that HCl in water in an aqueous form, NaOH in an aqueous form, both of them will react to form a salt and water. This is a typical way of learning about acid-base reaction. Now always measure to balance this, always look out for these options. Like there is one chlorine here and there is one chlorine here. Similarly, there is one sodium here and one sodium here. So precisely both of these are balanced. If these are balanced, automatically hydrogen and oxygen will be balanced as well. So this is already a balanced equation. So there is no need to make any changes in this case. But if I give you one more case, like where I have NaOH, a base, is been treated with H2SO4, an acid, and it is forming a salt like Na2SO4 plus H2O liquid. Now, how do we balance it? So straight away, start with salt, students. Dekho, salt mein, you can see that there are two sodiums here. So if there are two sodiums, apparently we should have two sodiums on the left hand side also. And after that, SO4 2 minus, the second term you need to check out is that SO4. There is only one SO4 here and there has to have one SO4 here. So that is balanced. Now you need to balance the hydrogens. So you can see there are 2 hydrogens here and 2 hydrogens here, total 4. So if there are 4, I should multiply 2 here so that hydrogens will also become 4. So now you can see this is the balanced equation. Here everyone. On a similar basis, first write what is the acid-base reaction and do the next balancing, students. I have calcium hydroxide aqueous plus H3PO4 aqueous is giving Ca3PO4 twice plus H2. Balance that everyone. Similarly, if you have H2C2O4 aqueous plus AlOH thrice, and on balancing this, I'm getting it as Al2C2O4 thrice plus H2. So what will be the balanced equation? Do that everyone. So see what is the balancing of the third equation, students? We have 3 calciums here. I need to ensure there must be 3 calciums here. And there are 2 phosphates here, PO4. 2 groups are there. So I need to ensure there are 2 here. Now I'll count the total number of hydrogens. There are 2 hydrogens here. 2 3s are 6. 6 hydrogens here. And 3 2s are 6. 6 hydrogens here. So there are 12 of them, which means I need to multiply 6 here. Clear everyone? Why I multiplied 6 here? I hope all of you understood that. So there are 6 here and 6 here. Total 12 hydrogen. Oxygen will be automatically balanced. You don't have to do it. Last thing. Same. There are 2 aluminiums here. So make sure that there are 2 aluminiums here also. And there are 2 oxalates. C2O4 is called oxalate. So there are 3 oxalates here. So make sure there are 3 H2C2O4 here. Now again count the number of hydrogens. So 3 2s are 6 and here 3 2s are 6. Again 12 hydrogens. So I need to have 6 H2O here. So this is the balanced equation in this case. So acid-base reactions are simple. You just need to understand which of them is an acid and base, make them react. You'll get salt and water and accordingly balance it. Always start the balancing from the salt end. That makes it easier. Clear, students? See the second one. Combustion reactions. It's called combustion reactions. Have you all written the? Now, combustion reaction is a case where we take an compound and react that with oxygen. And you might get a product which is an oxide form. For instance, simple combustions I'll write first, like carbon in a graphite form. If you react with O2 gas, it will become carbon dioxide gas. This is also a combustion reaction. Sulfur in a solid form, react with oxygen, it might form SO2 gas. This is also a combustion reaction. H2 gas reacting with half O2. Okay. So that would give us H2O liquid, let's say this is also a combustion reaction. So reaction where you have a substance reacting with oxygen to get some kind of an oxide, that is called combustion. Now, the combustion could be combination of two reactions also when it comes to hydrocarbons. Take hydrocarbons, especially something like CH4, and you treat that with O2. You will get carbon dioxide also, as well as H2O also. Okay, because carbon is undergoing oxidation to become carbon dioxide. Hydrogen is undergoing oxidation to become H2O. So both will undergo oxidation. So we are more expected to balance these type of reactions, hydrocarbon reactions. Okay. But I hope all of you understood what is combustion is in general. So I'll just put it as a name here, that burning of any substance in the presence of sufficient oxygen, is called combustion. That is called combustion. Okay. So all these four reactions, what I have written, these are all combustion. So first combustion reactions को कैसे solve करना चाहिए? Let us see. How do we balance them? Suppose if I take this as the balanced equation, so how would I do that? If this is a balanced equation, now look at this. We have one carbon on the right, one carbon on the left. That carbon is balanced. We don't have to worry about it. First, like I said, हमेशा product से start करो. Check out the product. In the product, it is a carbon which you need to check first. So we have checked carbon. Right side there is one carbon. Left side there is one carbon, balanced. Next, we will see hydrogen. In the reactant side, we have 4 hydrogens. On the product side, it appears that there are 2 hydrogens only. So what should we do? I need to multiply 2 here. So hydrogen is balanced. Now we will count the total oxygens in this. How much is the total oxygens we have? 2 oxygens here with carbon dioxide and 2 oxygens with water. So total 4 oxygens present. And on the left hand side, it appears like there is only one oxygen, one O2. So to make it 4 oxygens, I need to multiply that with 2. So therefore, now the overall reaction, if you look at it, is going to be CH4 gas plus 2O2 gas is giving us CO2 gas plus 2H2O liquid. Okay, so this is the balanced equation. Again, learn the algorithm, students. What did I do? I first balanced carbon, next balanced oxygen, and third balanced the second balanced hydrogen, and third balanced the oxygen from right to left. First, I counted how many oxygens are on the right. Accordingly, I've balanced on the left hand side. Would you be able to do that now? First, make a note of this, everyone. Combustion reactions, and I'll give you some examples. Sorry. Those who are finished can try the next balancing part, which I have written it there already. Balance this, no? Give me an answer, students. Balance it and give me an answer, everybody. What happened? Nobody's able to balance it. Come on, students. Tell me. Abha, Akruti, Arya, Disha. Just give me a number, beta. What all things you are balanced? Namrata, Prajakta, Pranav, Sahil, Sarthak, Sneha, Yuvraj, Sonali. There are so many people. Come on. Can you all hear me, students? Anyone? Can you hear me? Okay, this is strange.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, but then how come nobody's talking? Guys can hear me. Abha, are you there, beta? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir. I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, Akruti, Arya, can you hear me? Disha,
Yes, sir.
okay. Namrita, okay. Prajakta,
Yes, sir.
Pranav,
Yes, sir.
right. Sahil, Sarthak,
Yes, sir.
Sneha. Sneha, could you hear me, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sonali,
Yes, sir.
Yuvraj, okay. Beta. First thing I want all of you to understand that we are in a new method of learning. I'm sure neither you, neither me were habituated for this kind of situation. है ना? We were not, normally we are supposed to have an offline classes, but unfortunately we have to have an online classes. But that does not mean you just have to be mum. First of all, please understand the only way I'll get to know whether you're understanding concepts or not is when you respond. Students understood that? So please make sure that you respond. Okay? Say yes, no, sir, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Sir, anything. Okay? But you need to keep speaking. You need to keep talking. If you do not talk, right? I assume only one thing, that you don't understand. That's it.
Sir.
Got it? So I request all of you to keep talking to me. Anything, whether you know it, you doesn't know it, that's fine. Arya, I've seen your solution better. That is right. Okay. So others, and how come this is very sixth class, sixth class things which I'm teaching right now. It is not even close to even 10th standard chemistry, correct? This is all something which you have learned it in earlier years. I'm just trying to brush it up. Okay. So participate and learn it. If you're not able to get it, don't get discouraged. You have to ask and learn. Okay. You're not in school anymore, beta. Please, everybody understand. You're not in school. कॉलेज में पढ़ाई ऐसे ही चलती है. कॉलेज में आपको पूछ के लर्न करना पड़ता है, डर के नहीं. डर के आप खाली बैठोगे, कुछ बताओगे नहीं, तो ना आपको कुछ मिलने वाला है, ना मुझे कुछ समझ में आएगा कि आपका लेवल कैसा है. ओके, क्लियर? सो दैट इज अ वन थिंग आई एम very particular about, that participation from students. You have to participate and tell me what is where exactly is the trouble coming, no matter how silly that is. Initially it might look silly to you, but unless you come out of that, आपको चीजें अच्छे से समझ में नहीं आएगी. Okay, so that is very simple question which I posed you, but only one of them is answering, so that is very strange for me. Abha, have you done it, beta? Abha, yes or no, beta? कोई problem नहीं. I'm just asking you. Nobody is judging anybody. Please understand this. Okay. You
Sir,
tried?
I tried, but I know it's wrong.
That is fine. Oh my God. ये सबसे लोग को ना ऐसा ट्रेन किया गया है स्कूल्स में कि गलत है तो दूर से छुप के बैठो. बिल्कुल मत बोलो, दूर दूर रहो. ओके, आंखें नीचे करके रहो. अरे ये सब नहीं चलता बेटा. हायर एजुकेशन ऐसे नहीं चलता है. Got it? नहीं आ रहा है तो भी बिंदास बोलना आना चाहिए. सबको मैं कह रहा हूँ. ओके, और खुल के बताओ कि सर प्लीज एक बार फिर से बताओ ना, नहीं आ रहा है. आई विल बी हैप्पी. ओके, अब बताओगे नहीं, आप सोचोगे कि मुझे ही नहीं आता है, हम लोग, मैं डफर हूं, ऐसे दिमाग में कभी मत लेके आओ. और नहीं समझा तो नहीं समझा, बता देना सर एक बार फिर से समझाओ, एक बार और एक क्वेश्चन करो. ठीक है, दैट्स द वे यू हैव टू लर्न इट. अभी से गिव अप मत मारो. ये इंडियंस में इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. ओके, अपने सारे इंडियंस में ये प्रॉब्लम है. और
Sir, can you explain this question?
दैट वाज सो सिंपल टू आस्क ना बेटा. अभी डर लग रहा है क्या दिशा? Right, that's it. You just have to ask me. Now look, simple things. See, what did I tell you? First, whenever such kind of question comes, हमेशा कार्बन से start करो, है ना? So you can see there are 6 carbons here. There are 6 carbons here. Right side पे एक ही कार्बन दिख रहा है. So how many carbons I should have? If there are 6, right side also I should have 6. So that is the first thing you will balance. Carbon हो गया balance. Next, you will see about hydrogen. There are 6 hydrogens here, right? And it appears only 2 hydrogens here. तो आपको कितना मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा यहाँ पर? 3 मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, because 3 2s are 6, and here also there are 6 hydrogens. Is hydrogen balanced, everybody? Now we have balanced carbon, we have balanced hydrogen. Next thing is we count the total number of oxygens on the right hand side. कितने oxygens हो गए? 6 2s are 12 plus 3 1s are 3. So total 15 oxygens on the right hand side. So we have 15 oxygens on the right hand side. And the same number of oxygen should be there on the left hand side. Okay? So there are only 2 oxygens appeared. इसको 15 कैसे करूंगा मैं? I will multiply that by 15 by 2. So which means यहाँ पर अगर मैं 15 by 2 लगा देता हूँ, like this, 15 by 2, 15 by 2 multiplied by 2, how much you will get beta? 15 only. So therefore यहाँ पर भी 15 oxygen है, यहाँ पर भी 15 oxygen है. Clear on this point, everyone? Yeah. Okay. Step by step. First step is balancing carbon. Second step is balancing hydrogen. Third step is counting oxygens and balancing that on the reactant. Okay.
सर
Yes, beta.
सर एक बार ऑक्सीजन अभी जो आपने किया वो एक और बार समझाइए ना.
No issue, beta. Listen. See, we have 6 multiplied by 2. So how much we got? 12. Agreed? 3 multiplied by 1 oxygen. How many we got? 3. So total how much we have? 15. Okay. Which means if 15 is on the right hand side, 15 should be there on the left hand side also. On the left hand side, it appears like I have only O2. Matlab 2 ही oxygens दिख रहा है. How would I make that as 15? Suppose, what would I get if I multiply 15 by 2 into 2? How much would I get, Abba? 15, right, beta?
Yes, sir.
That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm multiplying by 15 by 2 here. So that 15 by 2 multiplies with 2 will become 15. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if you add all of it, how does it look like? C6H6 liquid plus 15 by 2 O2 gas is giving 6 CO2 gas plus 3 H2O liquid. To make it in simple numbers, ये एक fractional number है ना? So we do not want, let's say, fraction नहीं चाहिए मुझे. So what would I do here? I will multiply this number throughout the reaction. So क्या आ जाएगा? 2 times of C6H6 liquid plus 15 O2 gas is giving 12 times CO2 gas plus 6 times H2O liquid. So even if you write it this way also it is correct. Even if you write this way also it is correct. Usually हम लोग हमेशा simple integers में represent करते हैं. So this is more acceptable. Clear, students? This is the way you have to write it. Will you do one more, students? Balance it this time now. C3H8 liquid plus O2 is giving CO2 gas plus H2O liquid. चलो balance करो सब लोग. Anyone has any problem in understanding, you will ask me once again. Do not worry. This is the first time you are learning something new, so it will take time. You can keep on asking me any number of times, okay? Do that and give me an answer, students. Anybody? Arya, have you done it, beta? Nobody has got that. ये तो और भी इजी है ऊपर वाले से. फिर से सब चुप हो गए. Okay, one of you have got that. Very good. Nikita got that. Arya got that. Correct. Others? Look at this once again. There are 3 carbons I need to balance here with 3. So make sure you write 3 here. 3. Next, hydrogens. We have 8 hydrogens here, so I need to have 8 hydrogens here also. How would I get 8? Multiplying that with 4. Okay. Now counting the number of oxygens. So 3 2s are 6 plus 4 1s are 4. So 6 plus 4. How many we have? 10. So total we have 10 oxygens on the right hand side. So if we have 10 oxygens, how do I counterbalance here? By multiplying that by 5. So if you write the overall reaction now, you will get this as C3H8 liquid plus 5 O2 is giving 3 CO2 gas plus 4 H2O liquid. Abha, is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Disha, have you understood? Namrata, have you understood that now, beta? Right. Look at this. Next question. In case if you have C2H4O2, right, liquid plus O2 is giving CO2 plus H2O. This is another combustion reaction. You have to balance this. So try that balancing and let me know the answer. Everybody try that. Okay, one of you have finished two. Again, only 2 students. Others, come on. Keep doing the same thing, beta. You have to practice as many times as possible. See, there are 2 carbons here. Make sure there are 2 carbons on the right hand side. So we must have 2 carbons here. And see the hydrogens. There are 4 hydrogens here. So we must have 2 hydrogens here. Okay. Now see the number of oxygens. There are 4 oxygens here and 2 oxygens here. So total number of oxygens, if you look at it, we have 6 oxygens in total. And here we already have 2 oxygens. So if I put 2 here, so that will become 4. So 4 plus 2 will become 6. So now if you balance it, now if you write it down, so you will get this as C2H4O2 liquid plus 2O2 gas is giving 2 CO2 gas plus 2 H2O liquid. That's how you'll balance the equations. Okay. Please make sure you learn to balance the equations, how exactly the reactions look like. Okay. Yes, Akriti, good one, beta. Akriti, Arya, Gita. Right.
Sir, can you explain it once again?
Yeah, listen up. Left hand side, I have 2 oxygens. I have to make right side also 2 oxygen, 2 carbons. So right hand side also I need to make 2 carbons. So I kept 2 here. Left hand side I have 4 hydrogens. So here it appears like 2 hydrogens only. That's why I multiplied 2 here. So that 2 2s are 4. Okay. So carbon is balanced, hydrogen is balanced. Now look at for oxygen. For oxygen, always start with products. See the product has how many oxygens? 2 2s are 4. 4 plus 2, 2 into 0, that is 2. So total 6 oxygens. 4 plus 2, 6 oxygens. 6 oxygens on the right hand side. So 6 should be on the left hand side. 2 are here already. 2 are there already. So how many should we have here? We should have 4. So it appears like only we have 2. So multiply with another 2. So 2 2s are should become 4. So we have 4 plus 2, 6 oxygens. 4 plus 2, 6 oxygens. So it is balanced equation. Clear, beta? Have you all understood that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now write down what are the types of reactions. Types of reactions. Sorry. We have already started the types of reactions. Third type. So third type of reaction is decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction. A reaction where we have a substance and on heating it is undergoing decomposition, which means any substance like AB, if you heat it, if you get A and B, this is called decomposition. Okay. For instance, if you take calcium carbonate and calcium carbonate on heating, on strong heating, it will become calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide gas will release. This is called decomposition reaction. Okay. HGO solid on heating, it would become Hg plus half O2. This is also a decomposition reaction. PbNO3 twice on decomposition. This will become PbO plus NO2 plus O2. So this is also decomposition reaction. Okay. To balance this, right? So there are 2 nitrogens here. We always start with nitrogen balancing. Okay. So I'm not writing the entire balancing right now. I'm not showing you step by step. I'm directly writing it. Later, you can just try it on your own. So PbNO3 twice on heating will give us 2 PbO plus 2 NO2. Okay. Sorry, 4 NO2. 4 NO2 plus O2. So now it will be completely balanced. Clear? So these type of reactions are decomposition reactions. Here, rather than balancing, the type is important. You should be able to figure out what is the type of reaction. So when a substance is distributing into small particles, we call it as a decomposition reaction. Okay. Everyone, make a note of it. Finished? Next reaction is displacement reaction. Displacement reactions. Displacement reactions. Okay. Here, suppose if we have a compound like AB and I'm treating with C. So what is happening? Here, A is being B is being replaced by C this way. If this B is being replaced by this C here, we call it as displaced it. We say it has displaced it. And this type of displacement reaction is also called as substitution reaction. Substitution reaction. Substitution reaction. Okay. So for instance, if we take Fe plus CuSO4 aqueous, and if it becomes FeSO4 aqueous plus Cu, if it get reduced this way, we say it has undergone displacement. Same way, if you take H2SO4 and you treat that with Zn, and if you get ZnSO4 aqueous plus H2 gas, then we say this is also a displacement reaction. So Zn has displaced both hydrogens, so we say it is displacement reaction. Clear on that, everyone? Now usually beta, one metal may replace the other metal in general. कैसे? देखो, if you take copper sulfate solution एक blue color solution होता है. In that, if you add an iron spoon, okay, any iron spoon or a steel spoon, what would happen? That steel or iron will get dissolved and copper will get precipitated. Copper will become acid. The copper's CuSO4 which was present, it will get deposited as copper and iron will get dissolved. Give it up. Clear? Same thing. Normally, आपने देखा होगा कि the pickles which we eat, we do not usually put them in any iron containers or steel containers. Okay. The reason being is pickle will have high amount of acidic character. Okay. And along with that, it will have some salt present. So if you have salt and acid, iron usually will get dissolved in it. That's why if you have seen ever that if we put a spoon in any pickle and forget it for a long time, the pickle will get corroded. Sorry, the spoon will get corroded. Okay, corrosion आ जाएगा ना spoon के ऊपर, rusting आ जाएगा पूरा. Okay, even for that matter, if there is any piece of iron in air and water also, moisture में भी रखोगे तो क्या होगा? Moisture में it will get dissolved and it will start getting rusted. Correct? Which means there is a certain level of reactivity of every metal, right? Some metals may get dissolved in some other solvent. So this is called metal reactivity series. Metal reactivity series. So I want all of you to write along with me. What is metal reactivity series? Out of all of this, cesium is the most reactive. CS, cesium is most reactive. Then comes potassium, sodium, calcium. Up to this, these are very, very reactive metals. ये किसी में भी water में, acid में, base में कहीं पर भी डालो immediately dissolve हो जाए. Okay. And next comes magnesium. Got it? Then it is aluminium, then zinc, iron, nickel. After iron, it is nickel, then tin and lead. After tin, it is lead. Then comes hydrogen. Okay. After that, we have copper, mercury, silver, okay, gold, and platinum. Okay. So from here, if you look at it, which is the most inert metal जो किसी के साथ react नहीं करता है? Platinum. So platinum is that metal which does not usually react in acid, base, or any salt, or with any metal solution. Okay, that's why platinum is a very, very inert metal. And I hope now you understood the reason for being so costly. All right. So platinum rings या platinum ornaments जो खरीदते हैं, right? They usually do not get tarnished. मतलब वो oxygen से भी react नहीं करेंगे, water से भी react नहीं करेंगे. Correct? So they will always be inert. So the shine remains the same. So metal will not get dissolved in any form at all. And after platinum, in fact, is the most valuable and most costliest metal, right? What we know, correct? Which we use it. Then comes gold. Gold is also one of the very costly metal, correct? And gold also has that yellow color shine on it. That's why it is being worn by people from generations, from long generations. Gold has been used as one of the important commodity. Okay, and the reason for that is its reactivity. It is very less reactive as compared to other metals. Got it? पानी में भी डालो गोल्ड को कुछ नहीं होगा, एसिड में डालो, बेस में डालो, गोल्ड को कुछ नहीं होता है. It does not react that easily. Clear? So this is the reactivity series. So I want all of you to slowly learn this. Got it? It's not needed that you have to mug up right away. Slowly, as you get introduced to the parts of chemistry, you will learn it. Make a note of it, everyone. Displacement reactions and then metal reactivity series. So now I'll give you few reactions. You need to tell me whether this reaction is possible or not. Okay? अभी मैं कुछ reactions बनाऊंगा इनके basis पे, series के basis पे. You have to tell me whether the reaction is possible. If possible, yes. If not possible, your answer should be no. Okay? Yes or no में हम लोग खेलेंगे. Clear everyone? पहले लिखो सब लोग. लिखा है सबने? Let's see the examples. First example, magnesium plus calcium sulfate aqueous is reacting to become calcium and magnesium sulfate aqueous. The answer is yes or no. That's it. Everyone, you can put your answers on chat or you can talk and tell me. Okay, I got one answer. Yes. I got two answers. I want it from everybody. Akruti, Arya, Disha, Amrita. Come on, beta. Answer it. सोनाली, सार्थक, अरे यस और नो लिखने में भी प्रॉब्लम है आप लोगों का। मैं आपसे जज थोड़ी कर रहा हूँ कि आपने सही बोला गलत बोला। All I'm asking is write either yes or no, whatever you feel it. Okay. Another one, I got an answer. Only 3 so far. So far, I got only 3 answers. Come on, students. By God, यार बहुत stubborn हो यार आप लोग। बात नहीं करना है मतलब नहीं करना है, सब शपथ लेके आया। बाप रे, खतरनाक है यार आप लोग। एक दो के अलावा तो बाकी सब के सब अलग प्लेनेट से आए आप लोग। यस नो में लिखने में भी दिक्कत है आप लोगों को। See this. Calcium sulfate, which is more reactive? Calcium is more reactive than magnesium. यहाँ से क्लियरली दिख रहा है ना बेटा? So if calcium is more reactive than magnesium, मतलब calcium if you add it to magnesium sulfate वो dissolve हो जाएगा, okay? But magnesium को अगर calcium sulfate में add करोगे तो magnesium कैसे dissolve होगा? Because magnesium is less reactive than calcium ना बेटा? Reaction will always drive in that direction in which the reactant which you are taking, like magnesium which you are taking, has to have more reactivity than calcium. But is it happening here? No. So the answer should be no. So this won't happen. The reverse reaction will definitely happen. Okay. The reverse will happen, but the forward reaction will not happen. Here, everybody? Sure. On that basis, I'll do one more one here. Zinc.
सर
if
और
you
एक बार
add it to-
बता।
हाँ, ओके बेटा। सी, कैल्शियम और मैग्नीशियम में कौन सा ज्यादा रिएक्टिव है? कैल्शियम ज्यादा रिएक्टिव है ना? मतलब कैल्शियम को आप किसी के सॉल्ट में डालोगे तो वो डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा। मतलब ये कैल्शियम को अगर मैग्नीशियम के सल्फेट में डालोगे तो वो डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा और बैकवर्ड चला जाएगा। पीछे की तरफ रिएक्शन वैलिड है, बट आगे की तरफ मैग्नीशियम को अगर कैल्शियम में डालोगे तो मैग्नीशियम सल्फेट नहीं बनेगा, क्योंकि कैल्शियम मैग्नीशियम से ज्यादा रिएक्टिव है ना। ठीक है, समझ में आया? जिस तरफ रिएक्शन बेटा उस डायरेक्शन में जाएगा जहां पे रिएक्टिविटी कम हो रही है ना। किसी चीज का रिएक्शन का मतलब क्या होता है? विच इज अनस्टेबल। वो चाहता है कि वो अपने आप को चेंज कर जाए, करेक्ट? सो सेम वे कैल्शियम इज मोर अनस्टेबल देन मैग्नीशियम। सो कैल्शियम चाहता है कि अपने आप को कैल्शियम सल्फेट में बदल दे। मैग्नीशियम नहीं चाहता है कि मैग्नीशियम से मैग्नीशियम सल्फेट में, एटलीस्ट नॉट इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ कैल्शियम सल्फेट। क्लियर? या नेक्स्ट, जिंक reacting in copper sulfate giving ZnSO4 plus copper. Now tell me yes or no for this. जल्दी बताएंगे सब लोग। Okay. Yes, yes, yes. I am getting 2, 3 answers. 3 answers. More? Others? Yes, yes. Good. Very good. Very good. I think now most of you have understood that. Yes, this will definitely happen. Reason being, you can clearly see that zinc is more reactive than copper. So zinc तो चाहता है ना वो अपने आप को dissolve करके ZnSO4 में बदले. So yes, this is correct. So zinc would happen. Next, if you take same magnesium and treat that with copper sulfate and giving this as magnesium sulfate and copper getting reduced. Keep answering everybody. Now you need to tell me again yes or no in this. Copper reacting with H2SO4 becoming copper sulfate plus H2. First, give me the answer for the third one. For the third example, everybody. The third example, what is correct? Is it yes or no? Okay, one answer I got. Others? Nikita, do the last one also, beta. Okay, now listen up. Magnesium is much more reactive than copper, na beta? If you compare magnesium and copper, which is more reactive? Magnesium. तो magnesium तो चाहता है कि वो अपने आप को dissolve कर ले. So magnesium will definitely dissolve and become MgSO4. So there is no problem here. It has to be yes, not no beta. Okay. Shah, Arya, Akruti, I hope you understood that now. Magnesium is supposed to be more reactive than copper, na beta? The one which is more reactive वो dissolve हो जाएगा, वो reaction forward की तरफ चला जाएगा. Okay. Arya, Akruti, Nikita, understood beta? Not Nikita, Disha.
Yes,
Clear?
sir.
Right. Okay. So do the last one. Copper in H2SO4. Copper in H2SO4. Okay, I got one answer. Nikita gave that answer. Others? Okay, two answers. Three answers. Come on, more. Four. Five. So far, 5 students have answered. Come on. Others? Pranav, Sarthak, Sonali. I'm getting no responses from you. Yuvraj, Sonali, good beta. Next, Namrita. This now. Again, if you see hydrogen and copper, you can see hydrogen is more reactive than copper. Okay. So copper कभी नहीं चाहेगा कि H2SO4 में dissolve हो जाए because hydrogen से उसका power ज़्यादा है. So therefore, here answer should be no. Got it? Fifth, if you have copper solid and reacting that with AgNO3 and you are getting it as copper NO3 twice plus Ag. Now tell me about it, whether this will happen or no. Okay, I got one answer. Others? Fifth one. Come on, more answers, students. Everybody answer that. Only 2-3 answers I got. Yes, now the answer is correct, beta. Whatever you have said is right. See, copper is definitely more reactive than silver. So copper तो definitely silver में dissolve हो जाएगा. So therefore copper is getting dissolved in silver. So this is a correct option. Yeah. So like this, you should be able to figure out how the reactivity is and whether the reaction is possible or not. Okay. Similarly, if you see the reactivity series for halogens, halogens means when it comes to fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine, F2 is more reactive than Cl2, then Br2, then I2. This is how the reactivity would be. So F2 will be more reactive than Cl2, then Br2 and I2, which meant that if you take something like NaBr and treat that with Cl2, then it would become NaCl and Br2. And this is a correct reaction. This is going to be yes answer. Okay. The reason for being yes is you can see Cl2 is more reactive compared to that of Br2. Cl2 is more reactive than Br2. So you can see this reaction is yes, correct. So like this, you have to figure out for other cases also, which I write right now. Okay. So suppose if at all I have NaI plus F2, can it form 2NaF plus I2? Is it yes or no? You have to tell me. Or similarly, if at all I write this as Cl minus plus F2, Cl minus and F2, whether it will become 2F minus plus Cl2. So tell me in these reactions, students. So this is example 1 and example 2. Right, Nikita? Others? Yes, Arya, correct. To the next one also. Project the seat again, beta. Which is more reactive, F2 or I2? Which is more reactive? Just check. Similarly, F2 or Cl2, which is more reactive? Right, Arya. Others, come on, answer it. Sonali, Namrata, Disha, answer it, beta. Akriti. So first case is also yes, second case is also yes. You can see it why. Because in both cases, F2 is more reactive than chlorine as well as it is more reactive than iodine. So in both the cases, F2 is going to be more than Cl2 and I2. Okay. Correct. So I hope all of you understood what is displacement reaction. And this is what we are seeing, that how the displacement is happening in both the cases. And the last type of reaction, the fourth type of reaction, which we are discussing right now, is double displacement reactions. Double displacement reactions. Okay. So first is a simple salt displacement. Salt displacement. For instance, if I take ZnSO4 aqueous and you're treating with copper nitrate, CO3 twice. Then on reacting this, we will get it as CuSO4 aqueous plus Zn NO3 twice. Okay, this is what is being done. So what happened here, if you observe closely, copper came at this position and zinc came at this position. That's why it is called double displacement. Okay, 1 second. Finished, everybody? Write down salt displacement. So both of these ions getting displaced with one another. And we have seen acid base reaction, that is neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction, which is also a double displacement reaction. Like if you see HCl and NaOH, so we are replacing that Na sodium at hydrogen place and chlorine at OH place. Okay, this is how neutralization reaction is happening, which is also a double displacement. Third one is a precipitation one. Precipitation reaction. So in precipitation reaction, if you observe, so what you will have is AgNO3 aqueous, AgNO3 aqueous plus KCl aqueous. On reacting both of them, we are getting AgCl as precipitate and KNO3 aqueous as is formed. So here K plus is replaced by Ag plus, correct? And Cl minus is replaced by NO3 minus. So double displacement is happening. This is called as precipitation reaction, which is also a part of double displacement reaction. Okay. Suppose you all understood that. What is double displacement? Make a note, everyone. Yes, Nikita, we'll discuss that now. So, are we all finished with this? Write down the next one, which is physical reactions. Physical reactions. Physical reactions means reactions where there is only change in the state. For instance, if you take H2O liquid and I'm converting that to H2O gas, which means water को water vapor में convert करती है. So then we say these type of changes are physical changes or physical reactions. Okay. Whatever we have learned earlier till this point now, we did all of them as chemical reactions. Now this is physical reaction. Same way, if you have S8 solid and you're converting that to S8 gas, we say it as physical change. Okay. Now, every time a reaction is happening, we discuss them in two types. So there are two types of reactions based on heat involved, which means if a reaction requires energy, requires heat, then we say this is an endothermic reaction. It is called as an endothermic reaction. And if reaction releases heat, then we say it is an exothermic reaction. It's an exothermic reaction. So किसी reaction में से अगर heat निकल रहा है, so we say it is an exothermic reaction. अगर किसी reaction में heat utilize हो रहा है, it is absorbing, then we say it is an endothermic reaction. Okay. So for example, if you look at this, H2O liquid is converting into H2O gas. Now in this case, if you observe what is happening, to convert liquid to gas, we require energy, and the required energy which makes this as endothermic reaction, write it as endo, which means it absorbs energy, and we represent the heat as delta H. अब इसे ये समझ लेना, whenever I use the word delta H, which means it is heat. ठीक है, change in heat. So delta H, if delta H is positive, we say it is endothermic. And this is what will happen, right? Water को boil करना है तो क्या करेगा, आपको heat देना पड़ेगा ना. So it is taking away heat. The water is taking the heat and converting into gaseous state. Or if you take, for example, calcium carbonate, if you heat them, then it will become calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide, which means heat is being used here. So delta H is greater than 0. But if you take an example like HCl plus NaOH, acid base reaction, NaCl and water bun रहा है. Acid और base काफी unstable reactants है. If you react both of them, then the heat is evolved. मतलब delta H is less than 0. If it is less than 0, we say it is exothermic. If it is greater than 0, we say it is endothermic. Clear? Just write these differences, everyone. So there are two types of heats you should look out for. One is exothermic, one is endothermic. Okay. Finished, everyone? Just give me a sign if all of you have done with it. Finished? Now look at this. Yesterday I gave you an assignment. Let us see how you have to work out these questions. Okay. I hope some of you have done this. I'm solving one by one here. So look at that, how we can do this. See, first 5 into 10 raised to power of minus 5 plus 100 into 10 raised to power of minus 5. That divided by these two. First, numerator, I can get 10 raised to power of minus 5 common. So do that. 10 raised to power of minus 5 will come out as common. So I have 5 plus 100. So what I'll have. And that whole divided by, okay. That entire thing is divided by, I'll write this as divided by how much it is. Here, I can make 10 raised to power of minus 3 common or 10 raised to power of minus 4 common. So I can take this as 10 raised to power of minus 3 common. So I will write this as 200 plus, this is 10 raised to power of minus 4 na beta. 10 raised to power of minus 4 matlab 10 raised to power of minus 1 yahan pe reh gaya. So which makes it 105 into 10 raised to power of minus 5 divided by 10 raised to power of minus 3 into 200 plus 10 raised to power of minus 1 का मतलब क्या होता है 0.1 ना, that is 0.1. Now this is where you should learn, students, that in front of 200 क्या 0.1 कोई बड़ा नंबर है? 200 is a very big number compared to 0.1, right? So in such cases where you can make an approximation only in plus and minus, okay? Where you have plus or minus, you can see that this 0.1 is way too small number. So both the chota number as compared to 200. So what you can do, you can directly make it as 0. You can ignore that. This is called approximation. So therefore we will have this as 105 into 10 raised to power of minus 5 divided by 200 into 10 raised to power of minus 3. So 10 raised to power of minus 3 will get cancelled by 10 raised to power of minus 2. So into 10 raised to power of minus 2, that divided by 200. अब 200 में ये दोनों जीरो को भी मैं कैंसिल कर सकता हूँ और यहाँ पे लिख सकता हूँ 10 raised to power of minus 4 divided by 2. And 10 by 105 by 2, I can write it as 5, right? And then 7 and 0.5. 57.5 into 10 raised to power of minus 4. But finally आपको ना single digits में represent करना चाहिए before decimal. This is a correct representation. 5.75 into 10 raised to minus 4. Nikita, understood now? Have you got that?
Sir, if we make 10 raised to minus 4 common.
We can take 10 raised to power of minus 4 also common. See, let me show you that also. You mean in the denominator, right? So I'll show you that also. See, 10 raised to power of minus 5, I'm taking it as common. So I'll get this as 105 divided by 10 raised to power of minus 4 common. So now I'll get this as 20, correct? Sorry, if at all I take this, I'll get this as 2000 plus 1. This is what we'll have. Right, Nikita? Understood now? So therefore, again, you'll have 10 raised to power of minus 1 into 105 divided by 2001. अच्छा, 2000 के सामने 1 कितना छोटा number है ना? So you can ignore this 1. So because you can ignore that, you'll get this as 2000. So again, you'll have this as 105 by 2 into 10 raised to power of minus 4. So we got the same thing again. Clear? Make a note, everybody. Please write it down how to approximate it. Let's see the second one. We have 3 into 2.5, 3 into 2.5 into 10 raised to power of minus 8 plus 3. Minus 8 plus 3 will be how much? Minus 11. That whole divided by, here you see 10 raised to power of minus 2 है और 10 raised to power of minus 10 है. 10 raised to power of minus 10 is way too small number ना बेटा, ये कुछ ज्यादा ही small है, बहुत छोटा number है as compared to 10 raised to power of minus 2. So which means I can use this entire thing, ये जो पूरा term है इसको मैं पूरा का पूरा term ignore कर सकता हूँ. So you can straight away ignore this entire term. But this is not an addition. ध्यान से देखना, नीचे कोई addition है क्या? नहीं. When there is not an addition, you cannot ignore. You cannot ignore in multiplication or division. So now what will I write? 5 into 0.05 into 10 raised to power of, I'll write this as 10 raised to power of minus 10 and minus 2, which makes it minus 12. So now it will be 3 into 2.5 divided by 5 into 0.05, 0.05 into 10 raised to power of 1. Why 1? Because minus 11, ये minus 12 ऊपर आएगा तो plus 12 बन जाएगा. So that will come as 1. Hence you will have this as 3 into 2.5. इसको मैं 25 लिखता हूँ. 5 into इसको मैं 5 लिखता हूँ. So I'll get this as 100 divided by 10 into 10. So ये 10 cancel हो रहा है. So I'll have this as 25 get cancelled here. So we'll have 3 into 10 raised to power of 2. Or simply I can write it as 300. So that is the answer you will get. Let me know if you have any doubt there.
No.
Okay. Next one. If you look at the third one, here 10 raised to power of minus 6 है, 10 raised to power of minus 5. So I can take one thing common. I can take 10 raised to power of minus 6 मैंने common ले लिया समझो. So 2 रह जाएगा. यहाँ पर minus 6 कैसे बनाएंगे? This will become 0.05. That divided by, okay, there is 1 also here. So I need to make sure that 1 is to be carried. So I'll write that 1 also here. So 1 minus. So 1 minus this entire thing divided by 10 raised to power of minus 4 into 0.04. So this is 1 minus, and this goes 10 raised to power of minus 2 times. So we'll get 10 raised to power of minus 2 into 2 minus 0.05. देखो बेटा, हम लोग इसको मोस्टली इग्नोर कर सकते हैं. इग्नोर नहीं करोगे तो वैल्यू थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस आएगा, बट ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं आएगा. It is like 0.05 becomes a smaller number compared to 2 here. So I'm ignoring that because our idea is all about approximations. So I'll ignore that 0.05 divided by 0.04. So that makes it 1 minus 10 raised to power of minus 2 into 2 divided by 0.04 को मैं लिख सकता हूँ 4 into 10 raised to power of 2. So ये 10 raised to power of minus 2 और 2 cancel हो जाएगा. So 1 minus 2 by 4. 2 by 4 is half. So I'll directly write it as 0.5. So the answer should be 0.5. Okay, make a note. This is what I asked you the other day. Please learn the approximations. Write it down. ऐसे terms 10 power 1 minus 6 minus 3 minus 10 minus 20 इस लेवल तक आपको सॉल्व करना आना चाहिए. Finished? See the next one.
Sure.
Fourth one. I'll write it here. 2x square plus 10 raised to power of minus 6x minus 10 raised to power of minus 12. आपको क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन कैसे सॉल्व करना आपको पता है ऑलरेडी. सो आई विल डायरेक्टली गो विद दैट. सो x इज इक्वल टू माइनस b प्लस और माइनस अंडर रूट ऑफ b स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac divided by 2a. This is the way you have solved it before. आपने ये किया है ना quadratic equations 10th में?
हाँ सर.
Yeah, good. So minus 10 raised to power of minus 6 plus or minus under root of 10 raised to power of minus 6 whole square. Minus minus will become plus 4 into 2 into 10 raised to power of minus 12. That whole divided by 2 into 2. So minus 10 raised to power of minus 6 plus or minus under root of 10 raised to power of minus 12 plus 8 into 10 raised to power of minus 12 divided by 4. That whole is divided by 4. So देखो, this 8 plus 1 will become 9. So 10 raised to power of minus 6 plus or minus under root of 9 into 10 raised to power of minus 12 बाहर लिखेंगे तो 6 बन जाएगा. That divided by 4. So which is equal to root of 9 plus or minus 1 into 10 raised to power of minus 6 divided by 4. And root of 9 is 3 na beta. So 3 plus 1 into 10 raised to power of minus 6 by 4, ये एक आंसर हो जाएगा, which is 4 will get cancelled, 10 raised to power of minus 6. This is answer 1. The other one is 3 minus 1 into 10 raised to power of minus 6 by 4. So which is 2 by 4 into 10 raised to minus 6, or it is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 matlab 0.5. So 0.5 into 10 raised to power of minus 6, or 5 into 10 raised to power of minus 7. These are the two answers which are correct. So I hope you all recall how to do the quadratic equation, except that these are not simple numbers. You will have some powers with minus sign, minus 1, minus 10 like that. You should be able to deal with it. Okay, right. So I want all of you to try the rest of them, and next session I'll discuss the other remaining problems. If anybody wants an exact answer, I'll send you the answer key. But I want all of you to show me the working first, how you have done it. Okay, I want to see what are the approximations you have done it. Okay, so make sure you write it properly up to all these 7 questions with all approximations the way I have written it. ऐसे सारे questions का लिख के आप मुझे send करोगे, ठीक है? Or you can upload it on Classroom so that I can watch it. Okay guys, chalo. I'll end the session here, students. If anybody has any doubt, they can ask me. Okay then, see you guys.